Man, it's time to get some more endings. I mean, I didn't like the ending I got when I played it earlier. It seemed like it was the ending. It was like not a dead end, but one of the endings that you could get. I mean, I was so surprised at what my character did that I actually went back and made sure I made the right choice. I'm like, what the fuck? So, let me see what other outcomes I can get. Try to make some different choices and see how the story will change. I hate the fact that you have the illusion of choice in this game. Meaning, like, you got choices, yeah. But the end result will still happen. That's the illusion of choice. I'm not a fan of that, though, man, but it is what it is. That's just how the story, that's just how the cookie crumbles. So I'm gonna see if I can get another ending here. I was like, what the hell? Alright, let's just turn the music down a little bit. Oh. Alright, that's good enough. I don't know why we thinking that's art. You know, I had a feeling that this was written by a female. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause she has the dudes cry too much. I mean, the main character cried too fucking much. I figured it was written by one. I just had a feeling. Some told me to confirm that. There's a lot of women on this team, though. The artist is a female, the writer is a female, and the producer is a female. I felt it was a woman that had a hand in this shit. I just felt that. I just really felt that. I don't know why I just felt that shit. Yeah, I just felt that was a woman that wrote this. Yeah, you just gonna feel it, man. That's what I was looking for here. And the artist is a woman. Okay, fair, whatever. It's like holy shit. So that, okay, this is the ending I got here. I mean, I wasn't happy with the outcome. I mean, as to how it happened, I wasn't happy with it. So I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, the writing is good. I just started questioning gender. Well, my character kept crying, not like a baby, but he just kept crying too much. I was like, okay, we get it. Your mentor is dead. You gotta keep shedding tears. I mean, come on. I don't know, man. All right, so let's load this up again. As you can see here, I have 3 choices to make. The last time I said I will become human, leave Johnny alone. Johnny is a kid I raised, and now he's an adult. I said leave him alone. That's what I said the last time. And then there's one more dialogue. There's one more dialogue choice towards the end of the story part. So while I'm making my tea, I'm going to continue to run my mouth about this game. Now here's some spoilers. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you plan on playing this and you don't want to be spoiled, I don't know what to tell you. Fast forward. I just have to spoil it so I can make my point here. But if you don't care about that, feel free to listen. It's only one possible outcome anyway, so. I had a choice to have Johnny become a vampire or to become a human. Johnny did say before my choice that he would rather be a vessel, meaning that a blood supply for the vampires. He'd rather be that instead of becoming a vampire. Okay, that was a choice he made, right? So I had 2 choices. I said, 1, turn Johnny into a vampire, or B, let him live as a human. So I'm like, okay, I want to let him live as a human because he wants to have kids. He has these ambitions and everything like that. So I said I'm just gonna let him live as a human. So I chose that, and my character just fucking bit him. I'm like, why is he biting him? And then, because at first I thought I made the wrong choice. Like, first I thought I hit the wrong choice to make him to a vampire, which I didn't meant to choose that. Because I backtracked and I chose it. I made sure I chose what I wanted to choose. And sure enough, he's still, so he's supposed to bite him. And Johnny was like, oh! You know, he was like surprised and shit. I was surprised too. I was like, what the fuck you doing? So then all of a sudden the ending happens where Johnny became a vessel, right? But yet Johnny hates me. He doesn't want to forgive me and all that shit because I fucking bit him. But I was like, dude, did you say you'd rather be a blood vessel? That's what I'm thinking. So why are you hating on me for? Why aren't you forgiving me? And then my character's gonna say something like, it'd be cool if Johnny became a vampire or something like that, but at the same time, I wanted to become human. So why is my character saying about Johnny becoming a vampire when Johnny says he'd rather be be a vessel instead? I don't get it. It's like, I thought you didn't want Johnny to become a vampire. I didn't want Johnny to become a vampire. And then, like I said, my character's talking about becoming human. That's why I chose the option. Like, I want to become human. I don't want to be a vampire. because I found out that you could actually reverse back into a human being by getting baptized. I mean, but you have to believe. You can't just get baptized and shit without having no belief or faith. So, but the thing is, the guy who did it before, he was already an old man, fair enough, but they don't know why, because once he became human again, he lived for maybe about 10 days and he passed away. And they don't know if it's because he was already old or it's the effect of you becoming human again. They don't know why he died so fast, basically. I'm thinking it's because he was already old. That's what I'm thinking. But at the same time, it could be a catch to becoming human again. You could live. You got about 10 days to live if you become human. Cause you like, if that's the case, you might as well just stay a vampire then. I mean, shit. Cause I don't feel that being a vampire is a curse, so to speak, or like you lose your soul, as they say in the game. I felt vampirism is a species. It's not a disease. It's a species. It's a human. It's a type of human, basically. Except they don't eat. They don't age. They need blood to live. That's it. And do they have to kill the host? Hell no. They just suck them enough to get their satisfaction. I mean, shit. Good or bad vampires depends on the individual, just like good or bad humans. So I don't feel. I never thought that they were like some type of demon or. Yeah, holy water hurts them. Yeah, but still, I still don't buy the fact that they should be treated any differently, hunted down and killed by hunters and shit. Only the bad ones should be hunted down and killed, but not the good ones. You know. But a lot of people are afraid of them. Some of them don't believe in them. They've never seen a vampire before because there's not many of them in the game, in this world rather. But if they do know they exist, they're probably a little bit afraid of it. They either afraid of them or they become vampire hunters. But yeah, so I was like, what do they talk about? You lose your soul, or like if you become a vampire, you want to regain your soul. This is what this one vampire was saying. He said, "Man, I felt like I betrayed God, you know, by becoming a vampire." Even though you never find out how he became a fucking vampire in the first place. I don't know if he was bit or what. He had to have been bit. Because in fact, if you bite somebody, they're not going to become a vampire. You got to do something else to turn them. You have to go to like this ritual thing to turn their asses into a vampire. Because you could bite them all day long. They're not going to turn. Because it basically goes like this. If I want to turn you into a vampire, you're going to have to... I'm going to have to bite you, right? Suck on your blood. Then... after I sucked you enough, rather, you end up biting me, and you suck my blood after I sucked yours. That's pretty much how it goes in a nutshell. But yeah, so I never thought, like I said, I never saw it as some type of like you're cursed if you are a vampire or anything like that, because they don't. It's like no. That's why I was fascinated by like the fact that Because, you know, growing up, when I seen vampire movies, they're always the bad guys, man. I mean, Hollywood always portrayed vampires as the bad guys. And I was like, I never actually thought, can a vampire be good? I mean, yeah, of course we saw a few good vampires, such as Blade. He was a good vampire, even though he was only half, but he was still a vampire. He was a good one. But like I said, for the most part, they're portrayed as evil beings, you know? But I was like, no, vampires don't have to be evil, just like humans don't have to be evil. Cause I started really thinking about when I played this game called Vampire the Masquerade. I started really thinking about that you could be a vampire and be good. You don't have to kill in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that these writers for this, like the writer for this game, and the writer for or writers for the Vampire Masquerade series, have explored a possibility that vampires can be good and not kill a single soul. And you have no reason to fear all vampires. You know what I'm saying? The ones you worry about, the ones who are murderers and shit like that. Just like humans. Pretty much like humans. And that's that, man. Shit, I always have this fucking water go to the damn brim. Or the tea, rather. Ah, shit. God damn, that was hot. Yeah, so that's my take on the vampires. And like I said, I played the game earlier. Got this fucking ending on it. And I wasn't too happy about it. I was like, why the fuck did you bite dude for? Talk about my character, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why the fuck you bite him? It just shows to show you. It's not so like, cause with the game Spider-Man 2, it was written by a woman. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was written by a woman, okay? And they would say that's part of the reason why the game fucking sucked, because it was written by a woman. I do agree that is part of the reason why the game sucked, because number one, she don't know what her male audience want, and that's what she fucked up. That's why the writing sucks. She don't know what men want, the male audience. Cause I say you could have a woman writer, but she knows what men want and get advice from men who are fans of that genre that she's writing about. Yeah, she'll write a damn good story because she know what they want, what they expect, you know, basically. So, cause I could fucking write a chick flick. I could write a script for a chick flick. But yes, I would ask for advice from women who watch chick flicks and who are actually women, so my story can pander more to women of that genre, because I'm writing the chick flick plot or storyline. Of course, I'm gonna try to get advice from real women. But the woman that wrote Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, she ain't getting no advice from no fucking men. You know what I'm saying? However, the woman that wrote the story for this game here, she did a good job because, like I said, I didn't wonder if it was a male or woman that wrote this game when I first played it. I didn't wonder until like almost to the end of it. But before that, I was enjoying the fucking storyline. It's the characters are interesting. They're well written and everything. That's why I started talking about it could be the issue that a woman wrote for a certain genre. It could be, but it doesn't mean it is. You know. And yes, I do say like a superhero video game or movie. Yes, they're better off written by straight men. Yes, they're better off. But can a woman pull it off? Yes, she can pull it off. Only if she knows what men won't. That's what I'm saying. What they expect. So I chose I will become human, leave Johnny alone. I chose that already, so I'm not going to choose it this time. So we're going to go with I'm gonna go Will join the Skulls. Because at this point, my character is he's vexed at this point. He's been in this basement for like about a week in pitch darkness for the most part. He's thirsty. He's fucking got the bloodlust going. He's like, fuck it. I can see why he would say this. We'll join you motherfuckers. God damn, just fucking feed me. What the fuck? So my character's like at his wit's end at this point. So he's gonna say, we'll join the Skulls.
We'll join the Skulls.
See how he said it? He's like, fuck it. Fuck it. See, gathering the strength, Mark dragged his feet towards as he walked slowly towards Johnny. Nate and Kyle steadied the young adult on either side. Yeah, I think he's gonna feed off Johnny to make him. I think he's gonna turn Johnny into a vampire. I think so.
No, no, you promised me. I'd always stay human. I don't want to be like you.
Sorry, Johnny.
You ungrateful shit. He takes you into his home, and now you're gonna get what my brother and I've wanted our whole lives.
You're going to be part of something special.
You too. Kyle, Nate, once he recovers, you'll also be vampires. I think it's time. The House of Skulls needs to be strong. You've proven yourself.
They finally get to become vampires, these fucking idiots. They've been vessels for how long? What the fuck?
Sorry I had to wait. That enforcer bastard wouldn't allow me to turn you since I've already turned 2 this century.
Wait a minute, that's what I was wondering about this when he said I already turned 2 people into vampires. I wonder which 2 he turned. How come I didn't get to meet him? Did they leave too? Like the one who turned him left him? I wonder which 2 he turned. Obviously you don't see him. I'm thinking one of them is the one that's got killed in the beginning of the game. The one that tried to fucking kill me before I turned into a vampire. I think that was one of them, and I don't know the other one is. Oh, wait! Wait, I know who they are now. One is the girl that hangs with him. He turned her. That's right. Then the other person must be that dude that was killed by the one who turned the protagonist into a vampire. Yep, those got to be the 2 he turned. Okay, I get it now. So Nate getting all emotional and shit. The guy with the dark hair. That's the third from the right. His brother grabbed his shoulder. The blonde haired dude on the far right. The one in the middle is Johnny. Johnny's face was wet as he begged Mark, but the vampire couldn't hear him. He was too focused on this pulse. Johnny's like, no, you promised you wouldn't bite me.
Don't I have a choice? I'd rather be a donor.
So he doesn't want to become a vampire.
Damien, I think we should respect his wish. He can be a donor for us instead.
She whispered in his ear.
If Mark gets out of line, we can use him as leverage.
I like how you think.
I just want to respect our guest's choice.
Hear that? You don't have to turn him.
I thought that's what he's gonna do. Shit. No, I'm gonna turn him into a vampire. I put stay human the last time. I'm gonna choose this one here. Mark should turn Johnny into a vampire. So he bites him regardless of what I choose. This bite ripped into his shoulder. He tried to kick Mark off. I hate doing this. I hate this. So Johnny's trying to fight him. Yeah, the dialogue, the word. I mean, the words are different if she chose the other option. Mark is more aggressive if you try to turn him into a vampire. So Mark bit into his own arm and held it to Johnny. Yeah, he's gonna try to make Johnny drink his blood so he could turn. He shook his head and tried to push with Johnny, like, fuck that shit. Walking up to the young man, Damon, the one behind him, pushed Johnny's face to Mark's arm and held his nose, forcing him to drink. Oh, shit. Johnny's crying, and Mark is like, Mark is feeling the connection. Vampires were unnatural. Johnny's deep loss echoed within Mark. So he was forcibly turned. Okay, we see what ending I got now. It's the same fucking picture. But the difference is Johnny's a vampire now. Damn, I hate this one. I didn't like the first ending, but this one I hate this one because Mark just became like, he said, fuck it. I know what I said, but fuck my promise. Not only am I biting you, I'm gonna turn you into a vampire. I think he gone. Yo, what's up? I think it's too late. Anyways, Mark grew to become Damien's right-hand man. The House of Skulls became the top vampire organization in Colorado. They built a series of nightclubs across the state. Mark knew one day an enforcer would come and question them. For now, all he could do was practice his martial arts and wait. He joined the Skulls. The guilt never left him since that day. Johnny ignored him during the first year. Wow. Who could have blamed him? He lost the opportunity to they turn old and have the grandchildren, right? He hated Mark for that. Wow. Johnny struggled with his hunger. Anger made it difficult for him to control. Johnny would now have to accept his life. He should have never stayed in that alleyway long ago. Vampires were hunters. He felt stupid that he ignored that fact. And Mark was foolish enough to believe the kid could have been anything else. He'd never be free from vampires. Wow. So that's a bad ending 3. Now, I did bitch about the first ending, but I like the first ending better. I felt the ending I got earlier is canon as opposed to this because I don't believe that Mark will turn him against his will. He was still make him a donor instead because Johnny said he'd be a donor instead of becoming a vampire. You know. But yeah, man. Whew. But I don't get it why if you choose to not turn Johnny into a vampire, why was Johnny still upset with him? It's like why? You got what you said, you want to be a donor. You know? Thank you for reading our story. Please rate the game and tell your friends. These actions help indie games succeed. That's what the real video games are. Well, I think those are the only 2 endings I got. I can make the third choice, but I think it's gonna still give me the choice to turn him or not. So. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I don't think, I'm gonna see. If I choose this one, the result's still gonna be the same. Well, this might go in a different direction. Screw you, I'll stay a vampire, but leave Johnny alone. I'm gonna say that.
Screw you. I'll stay vampire, but leave Johnny alone.
Let's see what happens. I'm glad I saved it right there. Gathering his strength, Mark dragged his feet as he walked slowly towards Johnny. It's the same shit. Nate and Kyle steadied the young adult on either side.
No. No! You promised me! I'd always stay human! I don't want to be like you!
You ungrateful shit. He takes you into his home, and now you're gonna get what my brother and I've wanted our whole lives.
You're going to be part of something special.
Mm-hmm.
You too. Kyle, Nate. Once he recovers, you'll also be vampires. I think it's time. The House of Skulls needs to be strong. You've proven yourself. Sorry I had to wait. That enforcer bastard wouldn't allow me to turn you since I've already turned 2 this century.
Nate is like, oh my god, I finally get to become a vampire. So Johnny's begging Mark. Mark is not really hearing him. He's focused on his pulse.
Don't I have a choice? I'd rather be a donor.
Damien, I think we should respect his wish. He can be a donor for us instead. And if Mark gets out of line, we can use him as leverage.
I like how you think.
I just want to respect our guest's choice.
Hear that? You don't have to turn him.
Just still gonna give me these 2 options here. I'm gonna do the one I chose earlier. Before Zenzu, the chick, right, could hand Mark a bag of blood, Mark suddenly bit into Johnny's neck. So the twins had to pull him off. God damn. Damn, Mark let that Mark's bloodlust got the best of him. It was too late. John's eyes. The Mark and Norda, but he's gonna be a human at least. See, before the end that we got earlier in the stream, it was like a struggle and shit.
Oh, there he is!
What would you like, mistress, master?
There's Johnny. What would you like?
How's everything going?
I've been investing our funds. It's still making an average profit, even with your clientele.
Have you been taking care of yourself?
Johnny ignored the question.
Anything else?
Why, a bite later, of course.
Yes, mistress.
Yeah, instead of him being a vampire, he's a vessel. So Mark held back aside. Johnny still hadn't forgiven him, but it was the best decision he could make at the time. He only wished Johnny would change his mind and fully become a vampire. That's never gonna happen. So it's been months, and the Skulls became the top vampire organization. And a lot of people wanted to join them and shit like that. Of course, Mark had a lot to do with that. He didn't want any more troublemakers. If there was going to be trouble, it'd be started by him. So it's pretty much the same ending basically, but the dialogue is different. At least they put some difference between the 2 endings. So that's the one I got earlier. So now I have to start over from scratch. From the beginning of the game. But there's nothing I can do to change the outcome at this point. All those bats. So this is New Year's Eve, 1999. It's about 10 years before the game really starts. But this is how Damien became a vampire here.
We're closing.
The teenager quickly stepped inside, walked directly to the aisle she wanted, grabbed an action film and placed the DVD in front of the clerk.
That'll be $3.49.
Damien stood behind the counter of the rental store and waited for his 53rd customer that day to count her change. She smacked her gum. He squinted his black lined eyes when she didn't place the money on the counter. Shaking her head, her large hoop earrings dangled.
It's getting expensive here.
Damien sighed and looked at the clock. 30 more minutes until his shift ended.
We have the VHS version. It's cheaper.
I'm sure. If I wanted a VHS, I would have gotten one, pendejo.
Rolling her eyes, she paid and swiped the rental from the counter before striding away. Now he's alone. That's 30 more minutes until the year 2000 and shit. Maybe if he was lucky, Y2K, the blackout from all computers, would shut down the damn place based on how the news was reported. Everyone expected it. You know what? It's funny because in '99 I was 18. I didn't really give a. I wasn't even worried, man. I didn't give a shit about the Y2K. People talked about it and shit, but I was like, I didn't give a fuck. I mean, I wasn't afraid or nothing. I really didn't think about it. And then when the year 2000 rolled around, my mom was like, everything is still fine. Woo! And I was like, okay, that's good. I just didn't care. It was all the same work of stacking shelves and checking out customers. He missed when he had time for himself. This was one of the few businesses in town open late, so they always have the misfits, the stragglers, the late night date crowds. But the rest of the small town was quiet. He couldn't care less. His life wasn't going to change in 15 minutes. Nothing new happened in this town. It was 3 years ago since he graduated high school, and he still had the same job. Who, he's 21? Okay. I'm thinking he's 21 there. Pressing play on the CD player, he flipped open a guitar magazine he kept next to the register. His mind wandered. The door chimed and a tall man walked in. Damien recognized him on sight. Another loner like him. Ricky came to town months ago. Damien sometimes joined this wanderer for a cigarette after work because he had nothing better to do. Even that night, Ricky wore an outfit that looked like he stepped from a greaser movie. Damien never understood his obsession with vintage goods. Ricky was a little odd, but so was he. Yeah, I know why now. Because Ricky's a fucking vampire. He probably turned back in the 50s and shit.
What's up? Happy Millennium. Are you gonna watch the fireworks?
Nah, I'm heading out. It's time for me to be leaving. Happy 2000, man.
Damien's stomach sank. Ricky was planning to move on to the next place. Had been talking about it for days.
Where are you going?
I'm skipping this Loserville. Wanted to stop and say goodbye.
I get it. Call me when you get to the next stop.
A grin stretched Ricky's face.
Don't worry. I'll make sure to keep in touch. Life's too short to stay in one place. There's a fresh 1,000 years waiting out there. Gotta experience it. I know. Let's do something to celebrate. No one's gonna come in this late. It's good timing.
I can't go smoke if that's what you're thinking. Shift's almost up, and I have a date with Chenshu.
Genshu, what a name. I can never pronounce that. Even though I heard it pronounced over and over again.
I was thinking of getting something to eat.
But the only place that's open tonight is the Chinese restaurant on Main Street.
Ricky's usual I don't give a shit grin was gone as he walked up to the counter. Damien felt a chill.
Who wants Chinese? I have something extra fresh in mind.
Wait, what?
Oh, he tackled him. Sharp teeth broke Damien's flesh. His body slammed into the cabinet. Damien punched Ricky in the side down. As he pulled back for a second punch, his arm was grabbed by Ricky. Fingers bruised Damien as his arms were forced to the side. Ricky bit again. Oh.
Let go, you freak! What are you?
Ricky's eyes shone with an eerie light. He pulled away from Damien. His crimson-stained lips formed a grotesque smile as he bitterly laughed.
Pete. No, man. You'll understand soon.
Ricky's breath reeked of copper. Damien winced as he was dropped to the floor with a thud. Ricky laughed as he left the video store. His soft words echoed in Damien's mind. Ricky's a fucking ass, man. And how come Ricky didn't make him drink his blood so he could turn him? That's stupid. He didn't want to kill him, obviously.
To the new millennium.
3 hours later. So everybody's celebrating Y2K. So newscaster boasted a massive computer crash that was expected. Hadn't happened anywhere in the world. People dancing in the streets. It was pretty quiet in the store. The door swung open and a cute teen wearing the short skirt entered the store.
Damien? Sweetie, where are you? You were late picking me up.
After a glance at the counter, she knew no one was there. Zenshu became distracted as her eyes scanned the colorful rows of neat shelved movie boxes. Browsing a section, she picked up a film title from the shelf before returning it. It was too quiet. As much as Damien hated his job, he would never leave the lights on and the entrance unlocked. He better haven't forgotten about their date. So what should she do? Maybe he's listening to music again. I'll have to say that. She walked between the shelves, looking down at aisles for her boyfriend. She crossed empty space after empty space. She walked towards the register. Damien's magazine and the CD player was out on the counter, but he was nowhere nearby. A metallic scent teased the air. Her shoes squint down on the carpet. With a frown, she looked down. Large spots of blood stained the carpet around her toes. Tiptoeing through the blood, she stepped around the counter and prayed her boyfriend wasn't dead.
Damien!
No one was there. Her heart pounded. What if the attacker was still inside? She ran to the front of the store. She reached for the doors, but they were locked. She pulled against them, pounded her small fist against the glass.
Help! Somebody!
Her hands shook as she pulled out her she pulled out her flip open keypad cell phone to call 911. A calm voice came from behind her.
I'm right here.
Two arms grabbed her from behind. Zensu dropped her phone on the floor. A sharp pain came as she felt her life fading away. Dang, he wasted no time biting her ass. 10 years later. That scream was fucking chilling. Mm. Oh, my favorite theme in the entire game. Oh, I love this. Now I gotta figure out the name of it so I can find it in the options. It's like sad and relaxing at the same time. Yeah, I was invited to a Discord server as I was preparing for my show. I would have fucking went to it while I was streaming, of course, on Discord, but there's somebody there I do not like. So I told him I wasn't gonna join. So that's quite a few people up in there now. There's 6 people. Wow. Wow, 2 people, individuals are in there that I would like to speak to, but you got that one person, man. I just couldn't do it, man. I just do not like his ass. I hate the fact that my 6th sense has been right lately. So another good friend of mine, like I said, like a fucking brother, I felt off about him until about a week later he confirmed that my suspicions were correct. I'd have to drop him. Holy fucking shit. But yeah, man, I was so angry that I was right, it wasn't even funny. I like something is just not right here. Shit, but I don't mention no names. I don't go into detail. You know, out of respect, you know, they're not here to defend themselves, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, enough about that shit. Yeah, I love this theme here. Man, I can listen to this like all day. But I wouldn't want to because I get tired of hearing it. It hasn't been an hour yet, so I can't cut it. Damn. Has been a fucking hour or so. So Mark Delaware is the protagonist, a teacher's assistant. He ran past a no standing on the grass sign as he bypassed sprinklers, leapt over a hedge and landed in a patch of freshly dug dirt. Damn. He muttered as he ran with his collared shirt half tucked and his hair half brushed. Mark tore a bite from a bagel before stuffing it in his mouth. The bells of St. George University echoed, and Mark cursed. Picking up his pace, he waved to the groundsman as he turned a corner and nearly crashed into one of the Catholic institution's blue-robed monks. He shook his head in quiet disapproval.
Sorry, Brother Luke. I'll see you later in French.
Mark held up his hand in apology, sidestepped him, and entered into the history building. With a strong stride, he approached the double doors of the auditorium. He paused. Behind those heavy doors was Professor Michelson's ancient civilization class filled with 500 underclassmen. Holy shit. A glance to his watch told him that he was 10 minutes late. He finished chewing his bite of the bagel, took a deep breath and opened the door. Professor Steve Michelson looked up from the lectern and narrowed his eyes at his teaching assistant. Without missing a beat in his lesson, his booming voice continued about the advancements of ancient Roman housing. Mark did miss the book. No, Mark did miss the look, rather. His dew-covered canvas shoes squeaked as he slunk low in one of the empty aisle seats. He knew he was going to get a lecture after class on punctuality. A sweet voice whispered at his side.
You're late again.
Where's your tits at? I can't see them. I think my chest is bigger than hers. That tripped me out. I was wondering if she was actually a man. Because you can't see no breasts at all. I'm like, come on. Judy Phelps was standing, it looked like she's standing up, doesn't she? Judy Phelps was auditioning, she Professor Michelson's class that semester. Whenever the professor talking animatedly about the past, she intently listened. She leaned forward and furiously typed notes on her laptop. Her varied expressions are what Mark found charming. She opened a new window on the laptop. With its touchscreen, she began to doodle. Mark wondered what she could be up to. She tossed her blonde hair over her shoulder as she pouted in concentration. Fucking save it. Yeah. Yeah, it's late, man. It's almost fucking. Yes, it's after 1 a.m. Woo. So yeah, plug this phone up. Yeah, I want to drain this phone because I got shit to do tomorrow. That is the reason why I started streaming. That was the main reason why I started streaming. Because at first I wasn't gonna stream at all tonight. And I was like, fuck it. No shit, because I don't have any hopes that my YouTube channel is gonna grow anymore. I'll take that back. I mean, I don't have as much hope as I once did. It's like my channel's destined to be small. I'm destined to have a small audience per stream. That's just the way it is. I might as well accept it. You know, not everybody's destined to be a big YouTuber or to have a lot of traction on their channels, man. Sometimes I pump out a video that gets a lot of views within 3 days and shit like that. But that's a rarity. Usually I do okay with views regarding uploads and shit like that, and streams too. But that's about it, you know. Yeah, that's just the way it fucking is. So Mark's eyes follow her movements and start to look at her pale pink sweater. She was so focused she did not even notice his gaze. Jody slid the screen towards Mark. He had to slap a hand over his mouth to keep from bursting out in laughter in the middle of the class. There on the screen was a caricature of the professor as a dragon with fire coming from his mouth. A small Mark was getting hit by the flames. Oh, come on. That ain't that funny. This is silly, but it ain't funny, man.
I wouldn't lose. A knight always defeats the dragon.
Julie rolled her eyes. Mark squirmed in his seat. As he did so, he felt the cold squish of mud between his toes. Behind him was a trail of mud footprints down the carpet to his seat. Jody followed his gaze. Her mouth popped open in surprise.
Mark, ever heard of wiping your feet?
Mark turned his attention to the professor and wondered if he had also seen the mess. However, the professor was completely involved in the story. He wasn't an awkward man. He had powerful charisma. Let me see. He likes to talk about the Middle Ages. And it was like he was actually living at that time when he talked about it. He made class fun. He packed classrooms. Students liked him no matter how much he challenged them. He was one of the most respected instructors at the university. There were rumors about his age that he had been teaching at St. George for over 20 years. However, the academic look in his late 30s. His brown brushed back hair had moments of white. His keen eyes never missed a student out of place. So Mike reached over to Jody's laptop and pulled up a new screen. Jody looked up in surprise. He wrote, "Want to go out?"
Yeah, sounds good.
Mark typed Friday, lunch at Dive's Diner. Jody nodded yes. Mark beamed. Yeah, Mark thinks she might be a good girlfriend. I'm going to say that.
That concludes our section on ancient Roman housing. Make sure you read the readings. Oh, and Mr. Mark Delaware, I will speak with you after class.
Mark sinks down in his seat. It was not good for the teacher's assistant to be the one called to the front. Mark knew the professor's lectures almost about hard, but maybe he should have at least acted more like he was focused on his mentor. Jody gave a big smile and winked to Mark before skipping out the door. Sure, she didn't have to listen to Michelson. Mark reluctantly waved goodbye, then wiggled through the mass of students making their way out of the auditorium. Professor Michelson gave short answers to the small line of them who lingered behind. A few of them were known to Mark despite the desperate to make a A. They asked 1,000 questions or tried to beg for exam credit, a tactic that never worked. Others in the line were ladies who had a crush on the professor. Mark had heard them say that Michelson was mysterious, hot, and sexy. Why would they be so interested in a man who spent his days teaching in a basement office? After 10 minutes of answering questions, Professor Michelson finally shuffled his students out of the doorway. Mark wondered if he'd get a long or a short lecture this time. He cleared his throat to get Michelson's attention.
Yes, sir?
Professor Michelson paused before answering.
Mark, 4 years, only freshman out of 5 students who got an A in my largest class. By some miracle, you're still on the dean's list. Yet your timeliness has not improved since the day you enrolled.
With a slow shake to his head, he made his way around the lecture pulpit and off the podium. Mark started to protest, but realized he better keep his mouth shut. Adjusting his backpack over his shoulders, the TA followed as Michelson continued speaking.
Come with me, we must speak. I know you don't have class with Brother Luke today until 10, so we should have some time.
You expect we'll need that long?
Michelson only replied with a frown. Mark quickly nodded. Brother Luke taught him French in the morning. Along with French, Mark was quick to also pick up Russian and Greek. Languages fed his soul, and he would spend hours getting lost in their study. That was one reason why history fascinated Mark. He would love to be able to read primary source documents as they were meant to be read. Okay, Mark had to admit it. He was a little bit of a nerd. Looking at his watch to double check what the professor said, he saw there was plenty of time to speak with Professor Michelson and still grab a coffee before the brothers' class. As they left the auditorium, Mark saw the damage his canvas sneakers left behind. The older man gave Mark a knowing smile. Instead of crossing the muck and walking through the crucifix top main doors, the professor led the way out through the side passage. It was a perfect North Colorado day. The skies were clear and it was a constant 60 degrees Fahrenheit. 60 is kind of chilly though. The beautiful campus was quiet, far from dredging traffic and lost tourists. That's it. All right. There you have it. That's it for this stream. And yeah. Let's see. Let's go back to the title. Here's a picture. Some fucking images here. Some Mark Turn, he got bit. Like that picture there. The bear. Well, you could change the pic. Wow. That's when he was almost killed. Yeah, so there's a few images there. But yeah, that's it. Twice Reborn, the vampire visual novel. That being said, why criminals don't sign the fuck out. Peace and love. Good health to you all. And be safe out there. Peace. I'm out.